So listening, pay attention.
Oh, yeah.
You're looking for capitals?
At Chiswick Community School in West London, newly qualified technology teacher Bruce Duxbury's been thrown in at the deep end. Together with another colleague, he's responsible for both planning and teaching a brand new vocational GCSE. It's first thing Monday, and Bruce has a double manufacturing lesson with Year 10, who can be challenging. He's asked John Bayley to offer advice on pacing and planning.
Many weeks ago, it's going to seem, you wrote a time plan with Miss Holmes about what your plans were and when you hope to achieve them by, right? So I want you all, this is going to be a bit messy because you've not left the drawer in the best of states. I want you to all get hold of all the work you've done. I'm going to put this in the middle. It's going to be... This drawer is in a real mess. You need to get hold of all the work you've done. There we go. There's what I'm talking about. Someone's done it without a name. Yours is all at home. Yours is always all at home.
Can't find it.
Well, I don't think it's surprising that you can't find your work in here.
Right, not all of it.
Every week you all just dump your stuff in here, then blame Miss Holmes and I for losing it.
Just by the way, I just want you to notice your language there. Yeah, you tell them it's in a mess. It's not going to be successful.
Well, one thing I was going to say is I am from square one. I've been very negative.
Yeah, I would like a bit more of nice to see you back. Brilliant half term. We're getting out the projects. Here they are in the drawer. Sort them out. You might take a bit of sorting out, but I know you'll find it.
It is my intention now to have a very quick, see how long we've got. We've got about 10 minutes to do it. A very quick, but it's going to be a group brainstorm. What I'm going to ask each of you to do now is to write in the very centre of that piece of paper a single word which you think is relevant, hopefully with lots of possible explanations around it, but a single word relevant to this entire project, right? So you all know we are designing, Luke, egg timers.
It's 26 minutes in, and to the outside observer, nothing happened until 26 minutes past. We sorted out bits of paper. You showed us a lesson guide. But there wasn't anything to do, just write one word in a circle.
Each of you, the sheet in front of you, I want you to come up with five different words directly associated with the word you've got written in front in the middle of that page, right? You've got egg timer, okay. Now, ideally, what you are now going to do is you're going to take that sheet, pass it on to your neighbour, right? Or pass it round in a circle if that's what I asked you to do in the first place, right? And that person then is going to take each of those words that you've got on the outside and put two more words, if you can think of them, two more words associated with each of those words.
Tell me what you learned from watching it.
I got the impression of a teacher who was not well prepared for the lesson, and it was all quite bitty. My intention originally was to try and move things on and not get stuck on one thing for too long.
Oh, yeah.
What's the point of saying it? What's hot got to do with it? Right, what's scrambled got to do with egg time? Scrambled? Scrambled egg. Exactly.
Is it worth, Ben, is it worth spending a little bit more time on this, or shall we move on to the next thing?
I say we move on to the next thing, so
Okay,
it's pointless.
It's pointless? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, there aren't, again, enough of these for one each. I want you to have a look at them all. Right, just have a look at it. Have a look at the marks that are on it. Pass it around so everyone can see them.
You have to see the marks, man. The marks are fantastic.
Why are we looking for marks?
All of these marks are standards. If I put a salad inside this, I'm guaranteed, because it's got this mark, the cup and the fork on it, I'm guaranteed that when I eat that salad, right, there will be no plastic in it. And none of this plastic box will go into that into it. Now, what I'm asking you to do now, when we go upstairs, is to have a look at what standards apply to an egg timer.
And we're up to, we've been going about 50 minutes, and we're on to standards now.
Gave you a few weeks ago.
In about 3/4 of an hour, I asked Rakim up in the computer room what a standard is, and he doesn't know. I think structure is the big issue. Here it is, straight from the Key Stage 3 strategy. The larger picture, the local picture, the lesson as a series of episodes, a method of work for each episode, and then make sure that the start, middle and the end are linked together. That's kind of what the basic idea of the Key Stage 3 strategy is, isn't it? Yeah, the kind of shape and coherence of lessons.
I put together very quickly a repeat sheet of a sheet I gave you a few weeks ago about quality, standards and regulations. Rakim, I see from your faces you don't remember it.
Do I know about you that you're, amongst other things, a semi-pro dancer or a competition dancer?
Yes.
So you know about performance, structure, planning, pace, verve, all of those things.
Yes.
If I was teaching a course like that, I'd want someone to sit down with, either once a week or once a fortnight, and say, we're doing this, then we're doing this, then we're doing that. Do you think that'll work? Would you do more of this? Would you do less of that? Does that strike a chord with you?
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah, okay. It's the same as planning a dance or a performance or anything else, isn't it? Because if you go out there, you're a bit of a lamb to the slaughter if that plan isn't in place.
Yes. Well, having watched myself teach, your words, there's a couple of performance issues there, I think, that I can certainly explore. Perhaps I could let the teacher that's dying to get out of me get into that classroom. But,
Yeah, that's what I want. What's that teacher like, the one who's dying to get out of you?
absolutely crazy.
And by that, do you mean more prepared to experiment, more prepared
Yes.
to take risks, more...
Well, absolutely.
Bruce, let him out.
Yeah.
Because, let him out.
John's planning to meet senior managers to explore how the school might offer Bruce more support with lesson planning. Meanwhile, Bruce himself is hoping to impose a tighter structure on his next lesson.
Now, there was a few things came to light on Monday. A few things became quite clear on Monday when we were talking. One was that perhaps what we're actually doing has been lost. Yeah, it's so long ago, you've already started forgetting what we're doing. Okay, you've obviously started forgetting why we're doing it as well. So we're going to quickly talk about what we're doing and why. We're then going to cover standards. Now, what became clear on Monday was that perhaps the very basics of what a standard is and why we have them wasn't entirely clear in everyone's head. So what we're going to do is spend a little bit of time, I've said 15 minutes, a little bit of time talking about what they are, why we use them, open to you. What are we doing? Someone tell me what we're doing. It's in.
Designing egg timers.
We're designing
Egg timers.
egg timers, right. I want you to now tell me what a standard is. There are a few people who were not sure last lesson. What is a standard? Continue, giving me lots of suggestions. Good.
Is it like the safety, like if egg time is going to ruin your food or anything, like poison you?
Good. So we're trying to prevent bad, wrong things from happening. Good. Yes. Something we test things by to make sure that they're going to be okay. That's
Safe.
a good definition. To make sure they're safe. Why do you think we need standards? Myron, why do we need standards?
If we get across that our standards are good, it's more likely for our products to be sold.
Very good definition as well, yes. I've picked out 6 types of standards, 6 organisations. And there's no prizes in here.
Bingo!
There's a few sentences at the top there about what a standard is. Then underneath that, it tells you what your task is. We're going to go up to the computer room so you can do this. I've given you an address there to look at.
What should I do now? I've read it.
Right, so you know everything there is to know about the HSA.
Basically, yeah.
Find out if they deal with the health of the people making your egg timer or the health of the people using it. Right? Right, guys.
Alright, there it goes. I got poked in the head by the machine.
Myron? No. You know what standard you were doing? Here, go and sit at that table, please. Rena, tell me a little bit about the CE mark.
Oh, Rena. Hurry up and read it, mate. It's story.
I don't know what it
Read
is.
from the back, man. Can you read, Rena?
Yeah, I can, but I still don't know what it is.
What's that?
Ben,
Yeah.
what can you tell me about the CE mark?
It's European.
Yes, that's good.
And, what shall I find out?
No, something
You didn't give us a lot of time, did you?
We had 15 minutes.
No, but everyone getting all up here, getting sorted out.
Rakeem, can you tell me what the Environment Agency is?
It's to help keep the world like a more of a safer and more nice environment, and to keep like the water clear, the air clear, and making it more
Great.
safer for another day.
No, very good, very good.
Gracious me!
Myron, that was a very good description of what the Environment Agency does. Very good.
I tell you, here's a test. What's a standard?
What's a standard?
Yeah.
Standard is a means of checking that things are the way you want them to be.
That's right. It's a benchmark, or it's a means of checking for uniformity or minimum standards. It's interesting, isn't it, that at no point in the lesson do we get... The only time I saw it written down was when you gave it to sort out. If I'm 13 or 14, at some point I do want it bigged up. You know, in the course of making my egg timer, I had to meet standards, and a standard is the big picture. I want you to big that up even more. So more or less, when you walk into the lesson, the story so far is we're making an egg timer. We've talked to designers. We've talked to metallurgists. Today we're talking to standards people. That's where we are on our journey. Number 2, today we are going to be doing A, B, and C, and I want you to do even more of that. Yeah. But I thought it was a big difference. Go on, it's right to look pleased.